Hi Cancer, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing your weekly reading. Hope everybody's well. I want to take a second to remind you that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every Cancer sign out there. So guys, take only what resonates for you and leave the rest for someone else. Also remember that the energies can reverse. So if you believe that this is your reading, get in where you fit in, but don't force yourself into a reading that's not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Cancer? Cancer. All right, Cancer, you are starting out with the Ace of Wands. You have the Hangman in reverse, and you have the Magician in the reverse. All right, so Cancer, I feel like there's something new that started here. It's something new and passionate. Whatever it is, you've been waiting for it for a very long time. I do feel like it's something that is kind of giving you a new perspective on life, because things in your life may not have manifested the way you wanted them to. You might have been dealing with somebody that kind of kept you hanging on, or kind of had you like on the shelf, so to speak. And so that was something that it didn't work out the way you thought it would. But it looks like there's something new that is happening, and it's giving you a new lease on life. However, with the Magician in the reverse, you're questioning this. You're questioning if it's going to manifest exactly the way you want, if this person might be a little bit manipulative, or, you could also be feeling a little insecure, like you don't quite have all the skills or the tools necessary in order to make this work out. But I do feel like you're in this transitional phase. So let me see who's in your energy. Show me who is in Cancer's energy. All right, we have Temperance in the reverse. You might be dealing with a Sagittarius. We have the King of Wands reversed, Aries, Leo, as well as Sagittarius. So very strong Sagittarian energy. And then we have the Empress in reverse, Taurus, Virgo. I don't know why I said it. Taurus, Libra energy. So I will say this person that's in your energy, this is somebody who's going through some sort of a karmic lesson or a karmic cycle. They are right now a bit unbalanced. I do feel like they're aware of this. They're aware that there's some sort of emotional unbalance and that they need to ground themselves. The problem is that they're not really taking any action to do so. I do feel like they're kind of in this phase where they are in a lack mindset. They could be having some difficulty with their finances or their money. That could be causing the unbalance. The problem is I don't see them actually doing anything about this. And so therefore things in their life are not growing. So let me see who's in your energy. I'm sorry. Let me see the energy between Cancer and this person. The Four of Cups. The Four of Cups. So this is an energy of, you might be getting a little bored. This could have been a very sexual connection. I feel like this person is not really recognizing what you're bringing to the table. And that may be why you're having these misgivings. They may be focused on something else. They may be focused on the past. They may be focused on whatever is going on in their life. But there's a sense here of you looking at this and saying, I'm bringing in all these wonderful things. I've got this cup of love. I've got all this passion. This looked like the relationship I was waiting for forever. And yet this person's not really seeing what I'm bringing in. Here's the thing. I do think that they do. But they're not in a state of balance right now. And so between them not being balanced in some manner, definitely not emotionally, possibly not with regard to their finances, they're so focused on those things that they're not paying attention to you. Let me see. Show me what's affecting this connection. You may be waiting for this person to take action and they're just not doing it. So you could be getting bored with it. Yeah, you've invested in this. Seven of Pentacles. You're telling yourself you need to be patient. You need to wait. You got to be patient. That they're going through all these things. Queen of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, this person This person could be a little, it's the type of person who when they want to be, when they're feeling good about things, they are extremely charismatic. This is a very attractive person that people love to be around, but when things are going badly for them, which they currently are, this person can be very pessimistic, very petty, very mean-tempered. So, and they're looking at you. I feel like your money is pretty squared away. It's not like you know, I mean, you're doing fine. Things are growing for you. You're beginning to, you know, reap the benefits of something that you're passionate about. You've been very patient. You've waited. And so, and they're in a poverty mindset. You're not. As far as, you know, vibrationally, you're not very aligned with this person, which is why they're kind of over here focusing on themselves, focusing on everything that's going wrong. And you're there with your cup of love and all this passion. And you're like, you know, what about me? Let me see. And I feel like you're trying to be patient. Let me see the outcome. Show me the outcome for Cancer. Show me the outcome for Cancer. Yeah, Four of Pentacles in the reverse. Now that can mean a couple of things. It might mean that you're saying this isn't working for me and I'm releasing you and letting you go. But it could also be that you're both kind of letting your guard down. So we'll clarify that just to be sure. What I can definitely tell you is that this is not a stable situation. Bottom of the deck is the Ten of Wands in the reverse. And that is underlying energy. It tells me that you want to get rid of something that feels like an uphill battle. You want to resolve the problems. You don't want to have to work so hard and feel so overwhelmed to get this thing off the ground. So let's clarify your reading. Spirit, why is the Ace of Wands here? I do feel like this was a very sexual connection. So there's definitely chemistry that was here when this thing got started. Show me the Ace of Wands in the reverse. Or in the upright, I'm sorry. Show me the Ace of Wands. Okay, so we have the Death card in reverse and we have the Devil in reverse. So you don't feel like everything's over. You're still offering that cup of love, at least currently. But you're also looking at it and saying, look, I've worked on myself. I have handled a lot of toxicity in my life. And I'm not dealing with anything that is toxic here. You know, I want the passion. I want the love. I've waited for this for a long time. So I'm not throwing in the towel just yet. But I'm not going to deal with somebody's toxic energy. Let me see the Hangman in reverse. And this is where you're being extremely patient. Okay, so we have the Emperor in reverse and the Knight of Swords. Yeah. You're going to speak your truth to this person. You're going to basically say, look, things are not going well for you because you need to take action. You need to take control of your life. You're over here with the Emperor in reverse. You're not handling your life. And you're starting to view this person a little differently than you did before. So but here's the good news, Cancer, and I like this, is that you also don't feel the need to fix this for them. And you're going to tell them that. You're also looking at it though, and you're saying, look, you know, we could have been very compatible. This could have been a very spiritual connection, but because you're not actually doing anything to improve your life, you know, you're kind of over here just expecting other people to do for you, to invest in you, to you know, do everything for you. You're basically saying, I don't feel a need to fix this for you. I have my own things going on over here, and I've been very patient with you. So I feel like you're going to be patient, patient, patient. And then at some point, you're going to just tell them, look, you need to get up off your ass and do something. So I feel like at some point, you're going to lose your patience. But you're not going to try to fix it for them, which is growth. That is definitely growth, because it's not your job to fix this for them. Oh, you see the best in this person. You've seen the good side of them, and it's hard for you to let that go. King of Wands, Knight of Cups. Yeah, you've seen the best of this person. They have King of Wands reversed. So you're basically saying you have to take control of your life. You have to be, take action. And you're saying, I need somebody who is taking action. I need somebody who is bringing me this cup of love and accepting the cup of love that I'm bringing. And it's not happening. It's not manifesting. Yeah, it's almost like you feel that this person showed you their good side, and then all of a sudden you saw the real, lack of action, low energy, low vibration, and they could even be very controlling. This person could be trying to get you to come in and take care of everything for them, which is a very manipulative thing. So for some of you, that is the case, and you're facing this head on, and you're basically saying, I'm not doing this for you. I'm proactive in my life. My heart is open, and things aren't happening for you because you're not. So I feel like you're starting to see the real person that you're dealing with. Let's look at their energy, though. Show me Temperance in reverse. The Hangman reversed. And the Ace of Cups reversed. This person is so drained. Whatever they're going through, they are literally drained. It could be another connection that ended. But I do feel like this person is extremely drained. They're emotionally all over the place. And they need to get a new perspective. And I think, Cancer, that you have come into their life so they can get that new perspective. Because honestly, you waited for this person. They waited for someone like you. And it looked good until you realized that they are not really where you thought they were. But you saw the good in them. You saw who they can be, but they couldn't maintain it because they're in a poverty mindset. So they've kind of put the brakes on. They're kind of they're stalling a little bit while they're addressing something here from their past. And they're getting the idea that you're going to end this if they don't do something. Let me see the King of Wands reversed. Yep. Eight of Wands reversed. And the World. Yeah, they're blocking this connection. It's not that they're not attracted to you. They definitely are. In fact, they feel like you could be their person. You feel the same way. And I see the chemistry that was here or has been here, but you're looking at them differently now, and they know it. They know it. They know that you're tired of waiting for them to do something here. And so they're aware that if they don't do something, that you're going to put an end to this. You're going to close this out. And they have an idea that if you close it out, it's blocked for good. It's blocked forever. And yet, they're still not doing anything, which is crazy. Let me see. But remember, this is a karmic lesson or a karmic cycle for them. This could be a karmic soulmate that you're dealing with. The Sun. And we have the Seven of Cups reversed. It's going to bring clarity to them. Because, see, they see you as happiness. They see you as the person that they would want to be with. But you're basically you're going to tell them off. You're going to tell them, look, I'm not fixing this for you. It's on you. I fix my problems. I handle my business. And so you're bringing a lot of clarity to this person. I mean, both of these are cards of clarity, and that clarity has to do with the fact that they're in the situation that they're in because of a poverty mindset, because of a low self-worth, because they're questioning themselves. They don't feel good about themselves. Could be dealing with a Leo or a Pisces. Let's look at the energy between Cancer and this person. Show me the energy between Cancer and this person. Three of Coins reversed and the Hermit in reverse. So you feel that this is unstable, but you're not going to work it out for them. You see them looking at the past instead of looking at what you're presenting to them. And so I do feel like you're kind of moving away from them a little bit. And when you do that, they're going to feel that, because remember, they're in a poverty mindset. So that adds to that poverty. So they can't see the positive that you're bringing in. All they can see is poverty, because that's the mindset, that's the vibration they're in. And so then they're going to come in and want to talk to you about it. They're going to want to talk to you. I feel like you're pulling away from them, and they want to discuss it, because they know that if they keep you hanging on, keep you waiting, that you're going to end it. So they feel you removing yourself. So they're going to try to talk to you. They're going to try to bring some stability back into the situation. You're not going to do the work for them, though. You've done so much healing that I can see you're not going to be willing to do that. Also, though, this person, they need to look at things differently, and they're aware of that, but they're having a very hard time doing that. So they feel a little lost. They feel like they don't quite know, like they're in this dark tunnel of lack, and they can't see the light of day, basically. Let me see. Show me what's affecting the connection. Show me what's affecting this connection. All right, we have the Seven of Pentacles reversed, King of Cups reversed, and the King of Pentacles. So you're going to come in and you're basically you've been so patient. You've been patiently waiting for them to bring in commitment, loyalty, even financial abundance. And I feel like you've been extremely patient with this person. You've invested in the connection, and they're not investing. They're not investing. They're not properly showing the emotions. They have the emotions. They have the passion. You've seen the passion for sure. You've likely, and you've seen the emotions as well, but they're not currently showing it. It's like this person's depressed. And so you're sitting here waiting for them to man or woman up, provide the stability, provide the strong base, commit to the connection, and they're not doing it. And you're coming in and you're saying, look, I've had it. I've been so patient with you. I've been waiting, for you to take action. I've been waiting. And now we're going to have this talk. And I'm going to tell you the truth about a few things. This is your problem. You need to deal with it. You need to handle it. I handle my stuff. You got to handle yours. I am secure. I am stable financially and otherwise because I put the work into it. And it took me a long time to get there. Now, I've invested in you, and I've been very patient. Now, I'm pulling back. I'm not going to keep investing in something or someone who is not expressing love, not expressing, the desire for me, not expressing, where this relationship could go, not giving me the commitment that I desire. So my patience has run out with you. You're literally blocking your own prosperity here. And you need to take charge of your life. Yeah, you're going to let this person have it. And honestly, Cancer, I feel like that's what's going to wake them up. So let's look at that. But you're pissed. You're pissed. Queen of Swords in the reverse. Now be careful, because that also can indicate that your words can be very cutting. So try to be very gentle. if possible. I don't know if it is. This person is, you know, hard-headed. They do love you. They have feelings for you, and you inspire them, but they are like in this tunnel of despair. Let me see. Show me the outcome. Show me the outcome for Cancer. You might be dealing with a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, or a Pisces, Scorpio, or even another Cancer. Virgo energy, I said. All right, so we have Temperance. We have the Two of Wands reversed. And we have the Page of Pentacles reversed. So what is going to happen in your outcome? I feel like you're going to let this person go. I feel like you feel that there's no stability, and you want somebody who can express their feelings, emotions. You want somebody who can, you know, be who they showed you in the beginning that they were. They can express their passion for you. They're action oriented. Their heart is open. You know, you want somebody who's healed. You want somebody who's emotionally balanced and therefore can give, can pour into your cup as well as you pouring into theirs. I see you moving in another direction. And I do feel like, you know, Spirit is going to bring somebody in, possibly a fire sign, that things are going to work out a little bit better with, because this person is going to be passionate, loving, action-oriented, everything that you had hoped this person would be, but it never amounted, it never got to that point. I feel like you are going to move in another direction. I feel like you're being guided to do so as well. This person is going to be a wake-up call for them. I wouldn't feel guilty about this, and I'll tell you why. This person is undergoing some sort of a karmic lesson or cycle, and this is you telling them this, you pulling off, pulling back, and going in another direction is exactly what's going to wake them up, and that literally is their only chance at happiness and clarity. It's almost like nobody would tell this person except you, and I do feel like you are going to let them know, look, it's time for you to just, you know, stop feeling sorry for yourself. Start taking action in your life, and you're backing it up, not only with your words, but your actions. This person is going to feel like you are rejecting them. And so I do feel like they're going to feel like they've been turned down, but it will give them the clarity that they needed. They're definitely not going to think that you were, you know, the kindest in it. It's initially going to reinforce their insecurities. It's going to reinforce their lack mentality. But in time, they are going to look at your words, and it's going to bring them so much clarity. And then they're going to be able to move forward also in another direction. And it will be at that point, perhaps, once they receive the clarity, that they will meet somebody new. But Spirit will withhold that person until they get the clarity that they need. So I wouldn't stress myself too much about this. There were a lot of things in this connection that looked like it was going to be wonderful. And I feel like that's what this person showed you initially. But they couldn't maintain it because it was what they aspired to, not where they really were. And I do feel like you are their wake-up call. Bottom of the deck is the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. This is underlying energy, and it does indicate you're going to put an end to this. It will be something of a loss for you, but it will also resolve the problems that are present in this dynamic. And you will definitely heal from that very quickly. And like I said, Spirit is already bringing someone else in. So I feel like you are the lesson for this person. It's going to bring them clarity. It's a wake-up call. All right, so let's pull an oracle card. But you know, think about it, Cancer. If you're laying there and you're asleep and everybody else is doing everything all around you and you're asleep and somebody gets up in your face and says, wake up, you don't like it. Nobody likes it. But maybe you needed to wake up. All right, so your oracle card says, number 30, it says time to share. All right, let's see what that says. Give me just a second. We may love the road we take alone, and on that lonely road we may find the truths of who we are. But until we allow another being to be close to us, we will not find out who we have become in relation to others. It is time to form bonds and relate, and to rediscover your own thoughts and feelings in response to those of another. There will be times when there are shared experiences, their pleasures amplified because they are mutual. This is the true joy of companionship and friendship, that sense that the world is seen and experienced and even understood for a small moment by two or more people. Everything is sweeter because the deep longing to share with another is finally fulfilled. And I don't think it's with this person. I think you thought it was going to be, but I think that Spirit is bringing somebody else into your life. Like I said, possibly a Sagittarian or an Aries or a Leo, but doesn't have to be. In any event, I hope that this has been helpful. If you have resonated with this reading, Cancer, hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and hype the video if you get the opportunity. Until I see you in your next reading, Cancer, know that you are loved, and namaste.